Right, so we're back and ready for another deep dive. And this week we are tackling John Steinbeck, pretty famous author,
Oh, yeah.
Nobel Prize winner, all that. And we're looking at The Pearl.
Okay.
It's this, fairly short novel. I guess you could call it a novella. But it's got this opening line that I just love. In the town, they tell the story of the great pearl, how it was found and how it was lost again.
Yeah, I mean, it's like he's giving away the ending right there, right in the first sentence.
Yeah, and that's what's so interesting to me. Like, he's not trying to keep us in suspense about what's going to happen to this pearl we already know it's going to be lost.
Yeah.
It's right there in the opening line.
Right. It's like he's saying, look, this isn't about the what. It's about the how, how is this pearl found? How is it lost? And maybe even more importantly, what happens along the way.
Yeah, and I think that's what gives it that kind of parable feel, right? It's like it's not just a simple adventure story about finding a treasure. It's more about the deeper like the consequences of wealth and ambition and maybe even a warning about greed.
Exactly like those classic cautionary tales, where the moral of the story is more important than the plot itself.
Right, and I think knowing the ending in advance actually makes the story even more compelling because it shifts our focus.
Yeah.
We're not on the edge of our seats wondering if he's going to find the pearl or if he's going to lose it. We already know that.
Yeah, it's more about the journey, the choices that he makes, and the impact that this pearl has, not just on him, but on everyone around him.
Yeah, and that's what I love about that phrase. In the town, they tell the story. It immediately creates this sense of shared history, this communal perspective. It's like the entire town is a character in itself.
Absolutely. It's like Steinbeck is using that collective voice to emphasize how important this pearl is, not just to the individual who finds it, but to the whole community.
And it really underscores how these, the personal events can ripple outwards and affect everyone. It becomes a symbol of hope, maybe despair, greed, all these things wrapped up in one little pearl.
And he does it all with such simple language. There's nothing overly flowery or complicated about it, but it's so effective.
It's like he's tapping into some universal truth about human nature, something that transcends time and place. Like, we've always been fascinated by these stories of sudden wealth and the dangers that come with it.
Exactly. It's a story that's been told and retold for centuries, The allure of riches, the inevitability of loss, these are themes that resonate with everyone, no matter who you are or where you come from.
And there's this, I don't know if it's ironic, but there's something about how he describes the finding and the losing in the same breath. Like those two things are inextricably linked.
Yeah, it's almost like they're two sides of the same coin. You can't have one without the other.
Right. And that kind of sets the stage for this whole idea of, the cyclical nature of fortune.
Yeah, what goes up must come down, right?
Exactly. And I also love the way he just throws you right into the story. There's no long-winded introduction or anything. It's just, bam, in the town they tell the story.
Yeah,
and you're off.
It's very effective. It really grabs your attention and makes you want to know more.
Yeah, and there's this sort of lyrical quality to the writing, too. That rhythm and flow of the words. It's almost poetic in a way.
I think that lyrical quality is really important because it sort of foreshadows the emotional journey that we're about to go on, There's going to be beauty and tragedy and everything in between.
Exactly, and it's all there in that opening line, It's simple, but it's so evocative. It just draws you in and makes you want to keep reading.
It's a masterclass in how to write a truly captivating opening line.
So knowing that the pearl will be lost, what should we as readers be paying attention to as we dive into this story? What do you think will make this story resonate with us, knowing the ending from the start?
Well, I think it's about watching how the pearl transforms Kino and those around him, how it tests their values and their relationships, and ultimately how they deal with both the blessings and the curses that come with such a momentous discovery.
It's like the pearl becomes a mirror, reflecting their true selves.
Exactly, and that's what makes this story so timeless and so powerful.
All right, so there you have it. John Steinbeck's The Pearl. A story about so much more than just a simple pearl.
A story about human nature, about greed and ambition, and the things that truly matter in life.
So go check it out and let us know what you think.
Yeah, we'd love to hear your thoughts.